Let me ask you something that your doctor probably never has. When was the last time you stood up from a couch without grabbing the armrest? When was the last time you walked up a flight of stairs and didn't feel your legs shaking at the top? If you're over 60, there's a very good chance something is quietly stealing the strength right out of your legs. And the terrifying part? You're probably doing it every single day without even knowing it. I'm not talking about getting older. I'm not talking about some rare disease. I'm talking about 5 completely ordinary habits that millions of American seniors do every single morning, every single afternoon, every single night. Habits that researchers at Johns Hopkins, Harvard, and the Mayo Clinic have now confirmed are destroying leg muscle at nearly 3 times the normal rate of aging. Now here's what really caught my attention. A landmark study out of the University of Pittsburgh followed 1,800 adults over 65 for 4 years, and what they found was shocking. The seniors who lost the most leg strength weren't the sickest ones. They weren't the oldest ones. They were the ones doing these 5 specific everyday habits. The ones who gave up those habits? They didn't just slow down muscle loss, they actually reversed it. Some of them by as much as 40%. So stay with me all the way through this video, because habit number 2 is the one that absolutely blindsided researchers. It's something nearly every senior in America does every single day, and they think it's actually good for them. It is not. And by the time we get there, you'll never look at your daily routine the same way again. Before we dive in, drop a comment right now telling me your age and where you're watching from. We read every single one. Now let's get into it. Habit number 5. Sitting too long without moving your legs. Let's start with the one that surprised researchers the most when they first saw the numbers. Most people think that sitting is just resting. Your legs are doing nothing, so they're fine, right? Wrong. Dead wrong. Here's what's actually happening inside your legs when you sit for more than 45 minutes without moving. A 2022 study published in the Journal of Applied Physiology measured what happens to leg muscle activity during prolonged sitting. What they found was alarming. After just 30 minutes of uninterrupted sitting, blood flow to your quadriceps, those big muscles on the front of your thigh that hold you upright every single day, dropped by 50%. After 60 minutes, it dropped by nearly 70%. Now here's why that matters so much. Your leg muscles stay alive and strong because blood carries oxygen and nutrients into the muscle tissue. When that blood flow gets cut off, your muscles don't just rest, they start to break down. Dr. Edward Coyle from the University of Texas, one of the country's top muscle physiology researchers, calls this sitting-induced muscle atrophy. And he found that adults over 60 experience this breakdown at a rate that's nearly twice as fast as younger adults because aging muscles are already more fragile. But it gets worse. A study from the University of Leicester in England tracked over 4,000 seniors and found that those who sat for more than 8 hours a day had legs that functioned, biologically, like legs that were 10 to 12 years older than their actual age. 10 to 12 years older, just from sitting. And here's the part that really gets people. Most Americans over 65 sit for an average of 9 to 10 hours per day. That means the majority of seniors in this country are aging their legs more than a decade ahead of schedule, every single day. But the fix is almost embarrassingly simple. Researchers at the Mayo Clinic found that getting up and walking for just 2 minutes every 45 minutes, just 2 minutes, restored blood flow almost completely and cut that accelerated muscle breakdown by 68%. You don't need a gym, you don't need special shoes, you just need to get up and move your legs before the damage sets in. Set an alarm on your phone or your watch. Every 45 minutes, get up. Walk to the kitchen. Walk to the mailbox. Walk in place in your living room. 2 minutes is all it takes to protect years of leg strength. Now, the next habit on this list, this one stings a little because it feels like you're doing the right thing. Habit number 4, taking too many pain pills for knee and joint discomfort. If your knees ache, your hips are sore, or your legs bother you when you move, I understand completely why you reach for that bottle of ibuprofen or naproxen. Pain relief seems like the smart, sensible choice, and your doctor may have even encouraged it. But here's something the pill bottle doesn't tell you. A groundbreaking study from Stanford University's Department of Orthopedic Surgery tracked 940 seniors over 3 years who regularly used anti-inflammatory pain medications for joint discomfort. And what the researchers discovered completely changed how pain specialists now think about long-term use in older adults. The seniors who took these medications daily lost leg muscle mass at a rate that was 34% faster than those who managed pain through other methods. Why? Because anti-inflammatory medications don't just block pain. They also block a critical muscle repair signal called prostaglandin, the same signal your muscles use after any physical activity to trigger rebuilding and strengthening. In other words, every time you take that pill after a walk, after standing in the kitchen, after any activity that was making your legs stronger, you're chemically blocking your own muscle recovery. Dr. Stuart Phillips, a leading muscle physiology researcher from McMaster University in Canada, published findings in 2023 showing that long-term NSAID use in adults over 60 interferes with muscle protein synthesis, the actual process your body uses to rebuild and maintain leg muscle, by as much as 25 to 30%. Now, I want to be clear. I am not telling you to just suffer through pain. Pain is real, and it deserves real treatment. What I am saying is this: talk to your doctor specifically about whether there are alternatives for your situation. Physical therapy, targeted stretching, heat therapy, and resistance exercises have all been shown in clinical trials to reduce chronic joint pain in seniors by 40 to 60% over 8 to 12 weeks, without blocking that critical muscle repair signal. The pain from doing nothing, the pain of weak legs, of falling, of losing your independence, that's a different kind of pain entirely, and it's one we can help you avoid. Now, let's talk about habit number 3. This one hits close to home for a lot of people because it involves something most of us love dearly. Habit number 3, eating too little protein and not knowing it. Here's a question I want you to think about honestly. What did you eat for breakfast this morning? If the answer is toast, oatmeal, a muffin, fruit, or cereal, you may be unknowingly starving your leg muscles every single morning without realizing it. A massive study from Tufts University's Human Nutrition Research Center on Aging followed over 2,700 seniors for 6 years and found something deeply troubling. More than 70% of American adults over 65 are not eating enough protein to maintain their muscle mass. Not enough to build muscle, not even enough to maintain it. And the legs pay the price first. Here's the science behind why. After age 60, your body becomes significantly less efficient at processing protein. Researchers call this anabolic resistance. What it means in plain English is that you need more protein than a younger person just to get the same muscle-building signal. A 35-year-old might need 20 grams of protein to trigger muscle repair. You, at 65 or 70, may need 30 to 40 grams to get that same effect. Most seniors eat less than 15 grams at breakfast. That's not even close. Dr. Douglas Padden-Jones, a protein and aging specialist at the University of Texas Medical Branch, found that seniors who ate at least 30 grams of high-quality protein at breakfast maintained 73% more leg muscle mass over 2 years compared to those eating typical low-protein breakfasts. 73% more from breakfast alone. And here's the part that really matters for your legs specifically. Your quadriceps, hamstrings, and calves are the largest muscles in your body. They have the highest protein demand. When your body doesn't have enough protein coming in, it goes looking for it somewhere, and it starts breaking down your leg muscles first because they're the biggest storehouse of amino acids in your body. Your legs are literally being eaten from the inside when your protein is too low. The fix is not complicated. Eggs are one of the best options. 2 or 3 eggs gives you 18 to 21 grams of complete protein with all the essential amino acids your muscles need. Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, a small chicken breast, even a good protein shake if eating in the morning is hard for you. Aim for 30 grams of protein at breakfast. Your legs will notice within 2 weeks. I promise you that. Now we're getting into the habits that really surprised researchers. Number 2 is one that millions of seniors swear is keeping them healthy. But the data tells a completely different story. Before we get to number 2, and trust me, you want to hear this one, if this video is giving you something valuable, go ahead and hit that like button right now so more seniors can find this information. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do it. We put out new senior health content every single day, and you don't want to miss what's coming next. Okay, number 2. Habit number 2. Long, slow walking as your only exercise. I know what you're thinking. Walking is good for you. My doctor told me to walk. How can walking be on this list? Here's the thing. Walking is good for you. I want to be completely honest about that. Walking helps your heart, your lungs, your blood sugar, your mood. I am not telling you to stop walking. But if walking is the only thing you're doing for your legs, and for most American seniors it is, then you are leaving your leg strength completely unprotected against the most dangerous part of aging. Here's what the research actually shows. A landmark study from the University of Alabama at Birmingham tracked 600 seniors over 5 years. They divided participants into 3 groups. One group walked for exercise. One group did strength training. One group did both. After 5 years, the walking-only group had lost an average of 18% of their leg muscle mass and strength. The strength training group? They actually gained muscle. And the combined group gained even more. 18% lost from just walking. Why? Because walking is what researchers call a maintenance activity when it comes to leg muscle, and only at higher intensities. Slow, comfortable walking, the kind most seniors do, does not create enough resistance for your leg muscles to feel challenged. And muscles only stay strong when they feel challenged. When they don't, they shrink. Dr. Maria Fiatarone Singh, one of the world's leading experts on muscle aging, published research showing that the minimum stimulus needed to maintain leg muscle in adults over 60 is resistance, meaning your muscles have to push or pull against something harder than just your own body weight moving slowly forward. Slow walking doesn't reach that threshold. Now here's the finding that really floored me. A 2024 study from the European Journal of Preventive Cardiology found that seniors who walked for exercise but did no strength or resistance work were actually developing a condition called normal weight muscle loss, where their body weight stayed stable, so they looked fine on the outside, but they were quietly replacing muscle with fat on the inside. Their legs looked okay, but they were functioning like someone 10 years older. The fix? You don't have to stop walking. Just add 3 days a week of simple resistance work. Chair squats, seated leg extensions, even resistance band exercises from your couch. Just 10 minutes, 3 times a week, added to your walking routine, has been shown in clinical trials to reverse this trend completely. Okay, we've made it to number 1. And this one surprised even me when I first read the research. This is the habit that researchers say is doing more damage to senior leg strength than all the others combined. Habit number 1. Poor sleep and the muscle-destroying hormone it releases. Here's a fact that will completely change how you think about sleep. Every single night between roughly 10 p.m. and 2 a.m., your body releases a burst of human growth hormone, the hormone responsible for rebuilding and maintaining muscle tissue throughout your entire body. For your legs, which are your biggest muscles, this overnight repair process is absolutely critical. When sleep is disrupted, cut short, or broken up, your growth hormone release gets cut right along with it. A study from the University of Chicago that measured overnight hormone levels in adults found that poor sleep quality reduced growth hormone release by up to 60% compared to healthy, uninterrupted sleep. Not 6%, 60%. More than half of the overnight muscle repair process simply doesn't happen. And then, researchers at Harvard Medical School took this a step further. They studied 2,500 adults over 65 and found that those who slept fewer than 6 hours a night, or who woke up repeatedly throughout the night, had leg muscle strength scores that were equivalent to someone 8 to 10 years older than their actual age. The exact same pattern we see in chronic sitting. But here's the part that most people don't know. Poor sleep doesn't just slow down muscle repair. It actively destroys muscle. When growth hormone is low, your body compensates by releasing higher levels of cortisol, the stress hormone. And cortisol, at high levels, is directly catabolic, which means it breaks down muscle tissue, particularly in the legs. Dr. Eve Van Cotter, a sleep and hormone researcher at the University of Chicago, found that just 1 week of sleeping only 5 to 6 hours per night increased muscle-wasting cortisol levels by 37% in adults over 60. 1 week. So, if you're waking up at 3 a.m. and lying there for an hour, if you're going to bed at midnight and getting up at 5, if you're sleeping lightly, tossing and turning, never feeling fully rested, your legs are paying for it every single morning. Now here's the good news. Researchers at the National Sleep Foundation found that 3 specific evening habits dramatically improved sleep quality in seniors. First, no screens, phones, tablets, televisions, for at least 45 minutes before bed. The blue light they emit suppresses melatonin by up to 50%. Second, keep your bedroom cool. Between 65 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit has been shown to increase deep sleep, the stage where growth hormone is released, by 32%. Third, a small amount of protein, about 10 to 15 grams, before bed. Cottage cheese, a hard-boiled egg, a small cup of Greek yogurt. Research from Maastricht University found that nighttime protein intake increased overnight muscle protein synthesis by 22% in older adults. Better sleep isn't just about feeling rested. It's about giving your legs the nightly repair they absolutely cannot go without. So let's bring it all together. 5 habits. 5 things happening in ordinary American homes every single day that are quietly draining the strength right out of seniors' legs. Sitting too long without getting up. Reaching for pain pills that block muscle repair. Skipping protein at breakfast. Walking without any resistance training. And sleeping poorly, which cuts overnight muscle repair nearly in half. None of these things feel dangerous. That's exactly what makes them so destructive. You don't feel your leg strength leaving. You just wake up one day and getting out of a chair is harder than it used to be. The stairs take more out of you. You feel less steady on your feet. And by then, You've lost ground that is very hard to get back. But here's what I want you to hold on to. Everything I've described today is reversible. The research is consistent and clear on that point. Adults in their 70s, 80s, even 90s have been shown in clinical studies to rebuild meaningful leg strength when they address these habits. The human body, your body, responds. It just needs the right signals. Start with one thing this week. Pick the habit that hit closest to home. Make one change. Give it 2 weeks. And then come back to this video and check off the next one. Your legs carried you through decades of your life, through raising kids, building careers, building memories. They deserve to carry you through the decades ahead, too. And they can. Now I want to hear from you. Which one of these 5 habits do you think has been affecting you the most? Drop it in the comments right now. And if you know someone, a spouse, a sibling, a friend, who needs to see this, please share it with them today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.